Good morning, everyone. Again, it's going to be another quiet one because Chris is asleep. My hair is all sorts of... I've got bad head. Yesterday wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. It's pretty decent. Work was okay. I actually went to work last night for a couple hours, like 2 hours, 2 minutes. I need a beverage, man. So yesterday I took Mom to her hair appointment, started an art project, made dinner, fed the kids twice, helped take out the trash last night, and worked. Today I've got to make phone calls, and I hate making phone calls, so this is all bruising from my self-injurious behavior. What I'm going to start off with today is my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And get that out my face. I really like this stuff. All the primers I've tried, this has been my favorite. Since I put foundation on my neck, I always do my neck too. So that should be enough primer. And people are texting me this morning, and I'm not going to be able to reply until after my video, so the reason I like this primer is it fills in my pores pretty well. And yeah, I feel like it does a good job of giving me a good base to start with. Can't wait till my Shop Miss A skincare gets here because I really don't like using what I'm using right now. Does it clean my face? Yes. Is it causing me acne? Yeah. So, headband is from Platyfly Studios. Service cup from My Little Demon, Heather Kreider. So, not sponsored, just me and people in my life that I value made these things. So, getting my powder ready for me. I'm not going to set my face with powder before I put foundation on it today. So, I am going to start with concealer though. Where's my Mary Kay concealer? I threw it away. Get a new one out. Let's try a new one. It's not Mary Kay. I don't feel as bad about using it. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild. It's a brand new one. I'm getting ready to open it. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Color Corrector in the color Peach for dark circles. How do I get it open? I'm trying to be quiet. There. Got it. Not used this one before. It's a new, because I like the Mary Kay one. It does a really good job, but we'll see how this one does. See what kind of applicator it has. It has like a paddle applicator. So we're gonna, it's a little bit lighter than the one I used for Mary Kay. So it's definitely not as thick. But, I mean, it's just slightly a lighter color. I don't know if that's doing very well. But, I mean, it's my fault that I have all this bruising, so I might take a couple of go rounds to cover it. There, that's better. And I typically don't have that kind of bruising, but because I had some bad behavior towards myself, that's the consequences. So the reason why I'm not using the Mary Kay one right now is because it's expensive compared to the Wet n Wild one and others. And I want to see if I can find less expensive makeup. Wow, that actually covered pretty well in my opinion for being as liquidy as it is. I just want a little more coverage, but yeah, wow. It's definitely not as deep colored, and it's probably more appropriate for my skin tone than what the Mary Kay one is. Try to see if I can cover that up in this spot right here. My spot on my nose, not so much. Let it sit a little bit longer. Definitely covered up on my neck though. It does a little bit. Yeah. I like it. And I have the green in this as well. That's why I tried it. Wrong spot. Right spot. My nose had a hair, sorry. And my nose is already starting this morning. So now I'm going to move on to foundation. And I'm just going to use my Wet n Wild again because it's too dark for me and I need to use it so that way I can buy a new one. So I'm shaking it. Shake it up, shake it. That song is by a band called Rooney. I saw them perform as the opening act for Fergie way back in the day. It was probably around when Corey turned 18 or 20. I don't remember exactly how old he was. But Corey and I went to go see the concert because I won free tickets from Verizon. So, bringing that down a little bit here. It blends out really well though. I mean, I do like this foundation. Just the shade is a little not my right shade. So, I think I went online a little bit early too. Yeah, I did. So, well, people, I'd be on around 9, but I have to have my makeup done by before 10:30. So, I have to take Mom to an appointment today. And while she's in her appointment, I'm hoping to hop over to Dollar Tree to get some stuff before I start therapy tomorrow. So, well, therapy group is what I should say. I started dialectical behavioral therapy group, and I can try to share a link if anyone has any questions about what it is. But I really want to get into some EMDR as well. So I may wear earrings today, I do not know. My nose is the place where I have the hardest time getting the foundation to go. But I think I got it in one go round today, so that's good. And now my foundation. Woohoo, partay. Dry throat. Forgot to use the humidifier last night, so next, hold on. I have an itchy, so I'm trying to scratch it without screwing up my foundation. So I'm hoping I need to get some more of this, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This one is in Fair Beige. Just like that. I don't know what else is going on in the world right now. Said I worked last night. I enjoy working for Uber. I really do. I enjoy Ubering. I meet a lot of interesting people. I also meet a lot of non-interesting people. Last night I dropped off a young lady who works as a dancer at a place for what they would call gentlemen. And when we got there, I was like, do you work here? She goes, yeah. And I'm like, well, you have a safe night. You be careful and you make lots of money. And I think that surprised her because I have a feeling most people are, at least from my perspective, so many people are judgmental about people working in that industry when I think nowadays, you know, if you can make money any way you can, go for it. I got a hair somewhere. I think I got it. So, do my forehead here. So that was my first fair, I think. And I ended up mostly on the west side and northwest side of Indy, which wasn't horrible. I like working on that side of town. One thing I've noticed is that when I'm Ubering, I prefer picking up people of color. BIPOC, is that it? Black, Indigenous, no, BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color. And the reason why I prefer picking up people of color, and I'm not trying to sound privileged, but people of color seem more appreciative of what I do for the most part. And plus, I feel like I get treated better by people of color than I do white people when I'm Ubering. I don't know if any other Uber drivers have that, but that has been my experience. So, yeah, I would much prefer to pick up someone of color than someone who is Caucasian persuasion. So, yeah. What I really, I don't want to say I hate, it's not right, I wish more people did it, I guess, is when young African American men, well, any African American man needs to get in my car, almost always they get in and ask in some fashion like who I am or if I'm Uber, because I think they're afraid. And again, this is just my perspective, that getting in my car I may freak out because they're a person of color getting in my car, and that's the kind of country we still live in today. Racism still exists, and I'm not saying those young men are racist. I'm saying because of racism, they've had to learn certain behaviors. One, to keep themselves safe, two. No, I think it's just that one to keep themselves safe. They shouldn't have to they shouldn't have to be scared to get in someone's car because they're afraid somebody's going to freak out or call the cops on them or whatever, you know. So kind of makes me sad that they feel that that's something they have to do because of the country we live in. I'm just setting my face right now, and it hurts a lot. But that's the type of country we live in, where people think because of the color of their skin they're not safe, and because of the color of their skin they aren't safe. It's like whenever I drive past a cop now, I honestly look to see who they have pulled over, if they have someone pulled over, because I'm looking to see if it's a person of color. Why? Because in this day and age, you have to be careful. Because, and there's so many times I've wanted to stop and be like, why are you harassing this person? What did they do? Or just video it to make sure the cops know that they can't get by with bad behavior. Because I don't trust police anymore. I just don't. So I'm going to use a concealer today to set my eyes, and I'm going to use this Essence Camouflage Concealer in the shade Light Rose. Right there. And there's the shade color, but honestly, I'd rather go to the bad parts of town than up to Carmel or Fishers or to Broad Ripple. I'd rather stay on my side of town or go to the rougher parts of town. And not everybody that lives in the rougher parts of town is a person of color. Hold on. I'm going to make sure everyone can hear me. Concealer is being a pain in my tushy today. I'm definitely going to have to set it. I didn't get enough on the corner of my eye over here. It looks a little bruised, so but I feel like people in poor, less economically advantaged areas, in my opinion, are more appreciative than the people from like Carmel or Plainfield or Fishers or any of those places. I'm not saying always, but more often than not, they're more appreciative. They're like, thank you for coming to pick me up. I'm like, why wouldn't I? You know, that's what I think. We don't always get into discussions about why I wouldn't, you know. The other thing that I get asked a lot, and it's by females, especially females of color, is they ask me if I feel safe. And most of the time, I do feel safe. I'm not going to say that I don't always feel safe. Or I shouldn't say that there are times where I do feel unsafe. And I explain why. And then I get the question, well, why don't you just kick him out of your car? And this is where becoming a woman comes into play, in my opinion. But Chris also feels this way too. He and I discussed it the other day. We don't want them to get violent in our car. So I'd rather get somebody somewhere safe and deal with something that may be a little triggering, which has happened, than worry about them if they have a gun or if they're going to get violent on me because I need to kick them out of my car. So today I'm using again my ABH Norvina palette, and I'm working on this third row right here. So this row right here. And no, it's a column. Sorry. Rows go this way, columns go this way. So it's a third column. So basically I'm working with the 3 row. So it's going to be an interesting look. There's definitely no shimmers in this, so I may have to pull in a shimmer somewhere. I'm starting with A1 because it's the lightest shade to use as a transition shade. But Chris says sometimes he's felt when he feels like that he feels like he can't possibly stop and kick someone out as well. That, we do report them for their behavior. That's one thing he and I are very stickler on. But we don't want to kick them out because we're afraid of violence happening in our car. And people ask me all the time, do I have anything to protect myself? I don't have anything physical, I guess, to protect myself, because I don't think we're allowed to. But I do have safety features built into Uber, into my phone, into my into my smartwatch. Those are places where I have something built in as a safety feature that, yeah. The joys of having slightly hooded eyes. Okay, where's my other brush? Oh, where's my brush? Oh, where's my brush? Oh, where is my brush? I'm looking for a specific brush. And I just did VeggieTales. Oh, where's my hairbrush? There it is. As my brush. His makeup brush wouldn't work. And oh, where's my hairbrush? Let's see here. I think I'm going to go into C3. So what I used for here is I used this one first. And we'll go into that one to deepen up my crease. And I'm looking down so that way I can see the crease better. That's a trick I learned from Nikki Tutorials. I learned a lot from watching other makeup artists. So yes, I've had moments where I felt not the most safe. And I've had passengers touch me and call me babe and honey. And I will tell you that 9 times out of 10, it's pretentious white people who do that. I would even say 9.99 times out of 10. The percentage is so low of people of color that I've reported for inappropriateness. I think I've reported a lot for passengers being rude, but I know specifically of one person of color. It was right when I started last year Ubering, of a man who, first of all, got my front seat, and this was before COVID, shut everything down. So he got my front seat, and then he proceeded to ask me a bunch of inappropriate questions. And he proceeded to talk about his intimate life with his girlfriend and how he was upset because she wouldn't give him what he wanted that night. And so he took money from her. And I reported that. He was a man from, I don't want to assume he was from India, but he was from either a Middle East or West Asian country. So I'm going back, into that first shade, so A3, to help blend that out a little bit at the top of it with just my blending brush. There. I just feel like that helped a lot. So I need to find a shade never blow on your eyeshadow palettes like I just did. Do as I say, not as I do. I gotta figure out what I want to do on my outer corner. I think we do the pink, so I need a green or an orange. Let's see here. No green in there. It's orange. Oh, but I do have a green in here. My ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. But not the color I'm looking for. This is not the color you're looking for. Here we go. See, these are not bright enough. That's my problem. I need something with some brightness. So I need to find a topper for the either orange or green shade. I think I'll use this highlighter from Artist Couture. It's in the shade Diamond Glow Powder. Oh, that's not the shade. Illuminati is what it's called. So we'll use that when I get to it. So fix my mirror. There we go. Yay. I don't know who's watching, but hi. And so now I'm going to go in with the pink, I think. So I need, not that brush. I will use this brush here from BH Cosmetics. And I'm going to go into this hot pink and put it on my outer corner of my eye. Oh, well, now they're gone. So I don't know who it was, but oh well. Maybe people come and watch this later, I hope. So yeah, that's working for Uber. And again, you know, do I worry? Sometimes. Do I let it get to me? No, because I have to work. So this pink is not cooperating the way I want it to right now. So I don't know what's going on with it, because the other day it worked really well, but I feel like I have to pack it on a lot today to get it to do what I want it to. Somebody on a group I belong to says that C3 is their favorite color in this palette. I don't know why, because I hate boring neutral. It's a warm neutral, and I don't want to say I hate warm neutrals, but yeah. After I get the other two shades on, I may need to come in and re-darken this up a little bit. I feel like it's not doing, and my eye is watering right now, so I hope I'm not waking up Chris. That's why I use the screen, so nobody can see him. So I think I'm going to go into, I'm not sure, the green or the orange. I think I'm going to go in with the green next. So I'm going to have a very 80s look today, I can tell you that. See, that green is going on really well. I'm trying to blend it into the pink a little bit. I do like that green though, it's a pop. Definitely a pop of color there. I might have to deepen up that pink color on the outer corner. There. Now I need to find a different brush for the orange. So where is my Mary Kay brush? There it is. Not one of my favorite brushes, honestly. It's a little pokier than what I'd prefer, but it is what it is. I didn't use that shade, okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over both of those with that highlighter, that loose highlighter that I have. I'll probably do that with my finger. Doesn't look horrible, but definitely needs some shimmer, and that pink definitely needs darkened up. Sorry, it didn't get where I wanted it to. So I'm going to go back in a little bit more with that green. This one's a Wet n Wild brush, by the way. I got it at Dollar Tree. I really want that to pop today. It doesn't go with my outfit at all, but I don't care. And it's just makeup. Sorry. So I was getting ready to talk about something else, and now I don't remember what. So we're going to go back in with B3. Redo the outer corner here. There was something I was going to talk about. Oh, now I remember. So I have a meeting. The bishop of the LDS church, the ward that I belong to now. And I still need that, so I'm not putting it away, I'm just closing it. And so I hate when I leave things open like this. There. To talk about me removing my name from the church records, because some things have come up that make me no longer believe that the church is what it has said itself to be. I'm just going to pack this on my lid now, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. That helps so much. It's not glitter, it's loose highlighter. I like that. Wow. That just helped so much. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I like that. I really do. So that's probably the highlighter, which I need to highlight my brow bone. So why don't we do that? That's probably the highlighter I'm going to use today. I sent a letter basically explaining that, one, I'm a pansexual and I'm polyamorous. And two, well, not two, but a bunch of other things like the historicity of the Book of Mormon and the Book of Abraham, how to what the church calls revelations aren't listed as revelations, they're listed as declarations, but yet we still call them revelations when they're not. The inherent racism in the Book of Mormon bothers me, and I didn't know it. I don't believe that it's a literal translation. I don't think Joseph Smith translated the Book of Mormon the way he said he did. In fact, I know he didn't. And the way the church teaches. There's just so many things that I have issues with anymore that I'm going to miss it. But I have another church family, and that is in my Community of Christ family. And they love me unconditionally. The Mormon church has conditions for their love, at least from my perspective. And I can't live like that anymore. I need to live an authentic life and not hide. And I'm sure as heck not going to do that for any church. So, I'm already having struggles with God, and my belief in God as it is. So why do I want to be part of a church that can't respect who I am? You know? So going back in with A or B3 and doing my under eye. Just going to do this one color today, hopefully. So I'm meeting with the bishop on Sunday at the church to discuss these things. Some people told me that I shouldn't do it, and I shouldn't meet them at the church, but for me it's a neutral ground. I know some people don't think it is, but I do. I used to fully believe in the goodness of the church, and I think what started my disbelief of believing that the church was good was when Dylan was dying, and I was asking the church for help because I didn't know where else to turn. And asking for help meant I knew I wasn't probably going to get it, but I wanted financial help. And yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get it, but it was worth a shot, right? And what else? So I asked for help with food. All the bishop would give me was going to the bishop's storehouse to get food, and I'm like going, do you not understand that I don't have time to do that? My husband is dying. And at that point, Mom was pretty much becoming bedridden too. Rehydrated my lips. And yeah. So then what most of the conversation was after that was about my sexuality and the fact that I would need to go through a repentance process. And he told me that I could start that before or after Dylan died. I told him I wanted to wait till after Dylan died. And I'm going to do an eyeliner today. So I'm going to have this kind of look. We're going to go with a bold eyeliner. And shortly after Dylan died, I told him Dylan died and I want to start the repentance process. That's when he offered to start bringing me meals, which is what I wanted to begin with. And what upset me more about that bishop, he's no longer the bishop, but what upset me more is the fact that he has a brother who's gay, and he was so not understanding of what I was going through. And yeah. Well, give me a second to do this. Still learning how to use a liquid eyeliner, so I'm getting it on my lower lash, which is not what I want. So I need to clean that off real fast before it ruins my look. There. It's a little better. Not sure if I want to do a wing or not. I don't think I do. We're not going to do a wing today. I don't feel confident enough in doing it today. But I did want the blue eyeliner, so there we go. Hold up. I hate when my eyes water. I really do. So, eyes are done. I'm put my palette away now. My watch is telling me, oh, you need to stand up and move. No, I don't. So there. So that's coming up on Sunday. That I'm meeting with the bishop to basically say you need to remove my name from the records. I'm pretty sure he's been including the stake president in my conversations as well, because I've not been the only person in the emails. So let's see what happens. I want to go up to the temple and just sit and think on things a little bit. I don't believe the Mormon, I don't want to say I don't believe the Mormon church is true. I don't believe it's true. I do want to say it. I think what I'm learning about Joseph Smith, my thoughts about him have changed as well. Can I find goodness in the Book of Mormon? Yes, but I can also find vileness, just like the Bible. I feel like any scripture is that way, though, in my opinion. That, you know, there's good and bad in it. It's written by men. Because, you know, I used to believe that so many things in the Bible literally happened. And they've been proven that they didn't. So, hold on a second, I need to take care of my notes. There. I got myself a little upset, so my nose contour brush, which I know that's not what it is, but that's what I use it for. I don't believe the Bible is literally true anymore, just like I don't believe the Book of Mormon is literally true anymore. Can I use some of the teachings in it to maybe work on becoming a better human being? Sure. But can I also be wary of some of the things that are written in it because of how they could be used? Absolutely. I have found out so much about the, I can't think of the word, the bigotry that happened in the Mormon church. I don't know how many people know that African American men, and I should say African American, black men, because it's more than just here in America, it's worldwide, weren't allowed to hold the priesthood because they were black. And I'm a little heavy here, didn't I? They weren't allowed to hold the priesthood because of the color of their skin. If you were from Asia, if you were from the Polynesian, India, any place else, you were allowed. It was only people who were considered back then black. And I'm not using the term that they would have used. Black is what I'm going to be using. There was a push from people in Africa, because if you lived in South Africa and you were white, you could be a member. But if you were black, you could not. So that didn't change until 1978, because there were people who were members of the church who were on the council, or the 12, and who were the prophets of the church, who did not want to see blacks hold the priesthood. They thought they were inferior. I didn't know any of this either. This has all been hidden from church membership as a whole. Going into that Illuminati color from Artist Couture, highlighting, and Community Christ, which used to be known as the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, has never withheld the priesthood from people of color, ever. So, what time is it? Okay, I still got time. I've got to hurry up though. I have to leave in about an hour. So yeah, just, I don't know, bothers me a lot that a church that I so believed in could be so inherently racist. And I know that the Mormons aren't the only ones, but it still doesn't make me happy about it. Sorry. I used to believe in the goodness of the church. Even when I've struggled with it, I still always believe in the goodness of it. And I can't anymore. And it's hard. It really is. Brows. I was like, what am I doing next? My brows. So, yeah. So what I've done, what I plan on doing is getting an evangelist blessing from Community of Christ. Unfortunately, the person who did my first evangelist blessing with Dylan is no longer doing them. He stepped back, which makes sense. He's older. But he's a very wise human being. I love when he speaks. He's got a lot of passion in his how he talks and how he teaches. You know, he's a really great human being. But they gave me an email address of the person who lives down in Louisville who does it, and I want to do that soon. I don't know what this evangelist requirements are, but I will do them, as I want a blessing for myself. I'm going to stop calling myself a fractured Mormon. I'm fractured, but also I can't call myself a Mormon anymore because for me, most people associate Mormonism with the Utah Church, not realizing there are other Latter-day Saint traditions out there, like Community of Christ, which used to be the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm kind of glad they shortened it. And it goes back closer to what the church's original name was. So, time for some setting spray. I almost want to dump this one out and use the sprayer for it. I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Hair that is being a pain in my tushy right now, so it gets shaped. So I'm going to pull my Wet n Wild into this sprayer because the Wet n Wild sprayer sucks, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll keep buying the setting spray, but the bottle sucks. Like, it gets stuck. And when you're trying to spray your face, that is not what you need. I tell you what. So I'm just going to switch out bottles. There we go. Oh, that's cool. It's done into it. Good to the last drop. And I'll recycle this. And I will just keep doing that. first I'm going to use I'm going to put my powder away, my setting powder. I'm going to use the one I use from Ulta, the Wanna Be Active setting spray. I'm going to use that. It's got a bead in to help mix it, and so I'm going to use this first. Burns a little bit. It has some sunscreen protection in it as well. So now I'm going to use my Wet n Wild one, which is in the wrong bottle. Ooh. Definitely comes out a lot stronger, but comes out a lot better. So after I do this, I'll do my mascara and my lips, and then I'll be done. Definitely comes out a lot better with that sprayer. What I should have seen was if the sprayer would work on the Wet n Wild bottle. I still may do that. Just keep the sprayer from it. So I like using the setting spray from Shop Miss A for wetting my makeup brushes, and I have more of it in my drawer, but yeah, there we go. That's much better. So I need to make sure that I know that that one is my Wet n Wild one. So what I'll do is I'll take the cap off of that one and get rid of it, and that way I can hopefully remember which one's which. I may need some more powder though, because the thing with that Ulta one is that it tends to make my face not dewy, but it definitely makes it sticky even after using the Wet n Wild one. So I don't want my makeup to come off, and I'm using it because I have it. So I'm just powdering my face again, so that way it stays put. I may need to reuse my highlighter again too. So now to eyes, and I'm going to just use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise today. Maybe. There we go. I always start with my bottom lashes. Definitely go ahead and put more highlighter on. In my opinion, mascara can save a lot of things. So we'll do this. Back in my mascara, let that sit for a second, then do another coat. I want drag queen lashes without having to use false lashes. There we go. There. That looks so much better. I definitely like that mascara. But I have 8 others, so that's good. And it's waterproof, which is what I think I need today. So I'm going to go back in a little bit more with this highlighter. Just because I can use it. I'm not going to do the tip of my nose as much, but I am going to do like there. My makeup looks pretty dark today, doesn't it? I'm a little heavy-handed unintentionally. So what's next? Lipstick. What lippy do I want to use? I don't want a nude, I want a dark lip today. Let's see, this is Transylvania. It is. I'm going to use this color Transylvania today. It's with the collab with NYX and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's a nice color for me, but I like dark colors, so cleaning up some of the foundation on my upper lip. I don't like that. So shake your lipsticks, your liquid lipsticks, I should say. Cream lipsticks you don't, but I like liquid lipsticks because they dry down better. And I'm trying to keep my leg from shaking right now. There we go. I am going to blot this a little, and I'm going to take that with me today. When I don't do things the way I want them done. Sorry, I didn't mean to move the camera. Here we go. I don't have a fancy setup, so there. And with that, my face is done for the day. So, time to get dressed, do my hair, figure out what I'm doing with that, and so I will talk to y'all later. Peace.